There is a 1.4 billion euro on euro dollar 12.50. Good morning, Mayor. I'm not sure. Looks like on my side this voice is quiet. Yeah, it's almost at the top. It's getting into the red zone. But anyway, I will try to speak a little bit louder. So the options front 12.50, 1.4 on euro dollar, and nothing extraordinary. Nothing extraordinary on other crosses. So let's have a look what we have. Let's have a look what we have on euro dollar from the daily perspective. We were discussing it last week. So taking it into the consideration, last two lower lows, right? Here and here, we are able to place the latest, the most aggressive falling trend line. All right. There was an attempt last Friday to take out last week high. It was rejected. But looks like we are trying to do that again. So in case we are going to close above last week high, that's gonna be possibility of rally based and continuation. In that case, if we are talking about the continuation, all right. So in that case, the range from 26th of February is gonna be important. The low from that day, 1345, been tested last Friday. All right. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so for sure we have some stops above last week high. All right, and there is a low from 1st of March which been broken on the 2nd of March. So above 1345 we are talking about 1352 and monthly open 1370, around 1370, right? So that's the key levels. But if we are gonna to get dovish Fed, so then the move to the downside from the 7th of March might be treated as a false break. In that case, we can measure it that way, and we can try to check what might be the next possible target. And as you can see, 1450 15 level as a possible outcome if and when we are gonna to close above last week high. Right, the falling trend line been broken, so that's the positive sign. On the other hand, bears need to try to get back as soon as they can below and close below Thursday low and going back into this pre-ECB range, right? The move to the downside on that day, the 7th of March, that particular day, all right? So the top is the pre-ECB high, and we have to get back below this level SAP if bears are thinking about the lower levels. For now, that looks, it might not be that easy, and I would say that attempt to going higher, we are going to witness attempt to going higher and test the monthly open. So let's switch to lower time frame. Let's switch to the lower time frame. It's yeah, better visible. So that's pre-ECB high. We took it out late Wednesday. On Thursday we saw attempt to reject that move higher. Friday we closed around this pre-ECB high. Now what we're trying to do right now, we're trying to take out Friday high during the Tokyo session, and it's done already, as you can see. All right, so Friday high 44, today's Tokyo high 45, so looks like some tiny stops were taken out. Now blue dotted line is a weekly open, all right, and it might be the key, especially if you are going to take into consideration the Friday price action to the upside. Of course you have to remember that it was the triple witches day, so some kind of the manipulation. So I would rather go through this strategy. I would assume that last 3 days of previous week, that was some kind of the consolidation, all right? Now we were trying to take out last week high, but it's just a reminder with the possible supply based on intraday and daily, all right? So if we are going to see rejection, and I would like to see, because that's the Tokyo, I would like to see Frankfurt or London trying to take it out again, hitting the yellow intraday zone in between 52 and let's say 70, and see rejection from here, right? But anyway, if the stop hunting during the Tokyo session will push us lower from here, then I would rather, instead of the waiting around 13, I would rather double the Thursday Friday range to the downside, and in that case 1275. If you remember from the previous week, we have some zone, possible demand zone over here. That's what I'm gonna to look for on the euro dollar. So I would like from the bulls perspective, from day trading perspective, I'm going to look for longs, but on a deeper dip towards 1275, 1245, all right? And also I'm going to watch carefully London open price action, if we are gonna to take out Tokyo high and what's gonna be the action over there, right? There is a plenty of possible supply above 1350 towards 1370, so I would be very careful trying to be long here. So in that case, waiting for deeper dip. I may, during the London session, I may to watch for small shorts in case of the rejection. If we are gonna to see what I've mentioned before, if we are gonna to see attempt to move higher during the London with rejection going back under the Tokyo high, so that might be some short setup. But yeah, based on the current price action, based on the place where we are above this pre-ECB high, yeah, I would rather be intraday long on dip than trying to sell it here, right? Monthly open towards 1370, that might be ahead of the FOMC. Yeah, the supply should be more active around this level, right? So we still have some 30 pips upside potential. And if we were discussing the range of the last 2 days of previous week, right? And we were doubling it down to the 1270, right? We may do the same to the upside, as you can see the monthly open as a possible target. So I would be very careful, watching carefully the yellow intraday possible supply, taking into the consideration monthly open, because that's looks like it's a very logical place. And we have a confirmation from this type of the measure. All right, so that's how I see the euro dollar. So let's have a look what we have on the pound side. And here, of course, Brexit saga from the higher time frame, red color, and remember, red color represents levels, zones based on the monthly chart, right? So we do have here 33 based on the monthly chart, and as we may see, as we noticed, it's quite important every time we are trying to break through, right? On a daily basis, we are closing near that level. Now, looks like it's gonna be similar story this week, at least till tomorrow. Parliamentary Brexit vote, just the reminder, and then Thursday, Bank of England, and of course job market and inflation data. So quite busy week for pound. Based on the last week price action, for now, taking into the consideration left side, taking into the consideration last Friday and Thursday, slower shadows, right? So we do have possible demand down towards 32, all right? And of course, if we are talking about the possible supply, Wednesday high and the high from the 27th of so means the high of the previous month as a possible supply. So we are talking about something like 150 pips range. To the upside, we are talking about 3350, 3380, right? And to the downside, we are talking about 32, 3175. Okay, so let me remove the arrows. Let me move this one over here, and that's our possible supply. We don't need that one anymore, and we don't need that one anymore. All right, okay. Now, if we are going right now, we are below the weekly open, all right? so quite negative from the intraday perspective. Okay, so if we are gonna to hold below 33, as you may see, these lower shadows, so the low from the last Friday, low from the last Thursday, and before the breakout, the low here, that's probably nice stops just below the figure, which from the intraday perspective, right, we are talking about this manipulation point, may lead to attempt to break lower. So what I'm gonna to watch on the pound side, attempt to break lower below Friday and Thursday low. All right, and I'm gonna to watch the price action right below 32. If we are gonna quickly reverse the move to the upside, I may try to join from the day trading perspective. I may try to join the long side. All right, but what we cannot rule it out, is move down towards 130 level, right, based on what we've seen within the last week of February and the whole March. What I'm talking about is, instead of the small range between 33.50 32, we can discuss this big range, all right, in between 130 133.50 80. So once we are gonna break and close below 32 on the early chart, that might be two early close in a row, so first close and the next hour is close below as well, that might be some kind of the confirmation. Then looking for a attempt to rally back as an opportunity to try to fade the rally, right? We will see. So key for now 32 and the action, what is going to happen below 32. And to the upside, we are talking about 33.50, 33.80. In case we are going to see attempt to move higher. So based on what we discussed on daily, the possible supply trying to back towards the monthly level. That's how I see the things on the pound. And the last one, dollar yen. That's gonna be, or that might be, very interesting week. First is of course FOMC, but then just the reminder, 31st of March, end of the fiscal year in Japan, and yen may try to get back home. So what happened last week? Friday, Thursday, we retested with rejection the broken channel. All right, so we broke through the bottom of the channel, retest, and the Friday there was some kind of the rejection. All right, for now we are above weekly open. The Nikkei closed on the positive side, so a little bit of risk on for now. What I'm gonna to watch here, I'm gonna to watch, there is two possible supplies from my perspective based on the daily. So sellers are around, of course, last week high for sure. And in case we are gonna to try to break through that level, right, it may lead to 12 1225, 1260, all right? So the blue zone, blue color, so we know what the blue color represents, is the possible supply based on the weekly chart, all right? So if we are going to take out a last week high, we may try to see rally towards 1225, 1260, but as you can see from this daily chart, this type of the rally, we are gonna be still under the lower or the bottom of the channel, right? It's gonna be still some kind of the retest. So that's what we may see today, tomorrow, and in case of the dovish Fed, yeah, finally we may see move to the downside. But I would be very careful trying to, you know, trying to predict how low we may go. I would say that 110 in that case, so psychological level as a safe bet, right? At least for now, after the FOMC. On the other hand, the bulls will try to use a little bit of the momentum based on what we've seen last Thursday, right? Because the close, daily close last Thursday was above this breakdown day. In that case, we are talking about the 8th of March, right? And in that case, the open was 11.54, and last Thursday we closed 11.65, right? So trying to use this momentum to push it a little bit higher. And as I mentioned, 12.25, 12.60 as a first level, but if bulls are gonna be able, if bulls manage to close back inside the channel, right, that may lead for further rally, right? And that may expose 115 based on this daily chart, and we are talking 115, so we are talking about this top of that range over here, all right? There you go, okay? So both sides might be busy on Wednesday. It's gonna be all about FOMC and what's gonna be market stakeout, all right? Our next meeting is tomorrow, again 8 a.m. CET time, so we are going to have the pre-London market preview. That's it from me today. Have a great day. Don't be trapped. Don't be trapped. Be careful. Market may want to position themselves. Markets may try to position themselves ahead of the FOMC, so a little bit higher volatility is possible. That's it from me today. Have a great day. See you again tomorrow, 8 a.m. CET time. Take care. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Light Forex Social Trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.